Hello, everyone. As we move into the midpoint, excuse me, the midpoint of our Com 210 class, I'm I've decided to make a couple of very short videos, and I think, as everyone knows, the tendency in these teacher-made home videos is to be too long and too involved, and I'm going to try to stay as concise and precise as I possibly can and just convey the crucial messages. Okay, so this first video is of a kind of general nature, and the first thing that I wanted to say is please keep in mind that as I've written to you several times, that this is an abbreviated, compressed semester. That is, it's 7 weeks instead of the normal 15 weeks, and that really shouldn't make any difference at all. However, it is important to keep in mind that that these condensed semesters go by very fast, and you don't want to get behind. It's really, not a good thing. Now, okay, so point number one. Point number two is I want to assure you that, first of all, I will work with you if you have any problems or concerns. Secondly, that I'm really happy to let you do the assignments again and thus improve your grade. There's a lot to be said about this. There's a lot to talk about, but I'll do that in either another video or in a note to you. So that's the second thing. That is, do-overs are fine with me. Now, the point that I wanted to make is one that, in a way, is pretty simple. However, I do know from experience teaching this class that students sometimes have trouble with it, and that is, please, excuse me, understand that most of the assignments in this class are one version or another of role-playing assignments. Okay, as I've said before, that means they are not something, and they almost certainly are something else. What they are not is standard term paper type college assignments. I'm not asking you to write a conventional term paper. What I'm asking you to do is role play or participate in a scenario that is workforce and workplace oriented. That is to say, you're not doing a paper with extensive background, with a certain form of traditional research. You are writing to a supervisor, telling them that you're suggesting an innovation. Now, that innovation and that supervisor, in terms of the role you're playing, or in terms of the scenario that you're participating in, is someone you know really well, and that has a good knowledge of the whole situation, and will not be surprised by your innovation. It's something that you think needs to be done, that maybe you've even talked about before, but does not require extensive background research on anyone's part. You might require a little bit, but really not very much. Okay, so that said, as I've said before, the innovation should be pretty simple, number one. Number two, they need to be concrete and specific. That is, you need to explain how your innovation will affect your workplace. Okay, and you need to give concrete examples. You need to name people. You need to name kinds of work. You need to refer to specific geographical locations. Now, I've said that two or three times, and I know it's difficult, okay, to get in the habit of doing this when you're used to doing kind of more traditional papers. Let me just say it like that. You really want to bring these situations to life, pretend that you're writing to a real person. Now, I know it's easy to say, and you probably should say, well, I don't have a supervisor, or this situation is kind of hard for me. Well, now, my response to that is, yes, I do understand that, of course. It is highly likely that you're going to have to do what I call fictionalize. That is, make up the name of a supervisor, make up the name of an employer, and have fun with this. I mean, there's no really right or wrong here. You just kind of need to invent a possible situation and then develop a somewhat simple innovation. Now, if you'll remember, that's why I posted the library one for you, the library innovation, which was, just really simple, a little kind of program that the library had not thought of. Now, you're welcome to do something like that. These innovations do not have to be like, first of all, they don't even have to be technical, and they don't have to be like earth-shatteringly fascinating or designed to change the whole course of human affairs or a large corporation. They can be really, really simple. You're working, you're working after school, we'll say, or you're working at a weekend job of some kind, and you have an idea about where people can park their bikes. Now, it can be really, really, really simple. In terms of the form, all you really have to do is state the innovation, number one, explain it in 3 little parts. The parts can just be a couple of sentences. Be sure to give precise examples, and then show how they will improve at least a little bit the work that you and your colleagues are doing. So, I mean, one of the things that students tend to tell me about this is, when I started, I overthought it. Okay, and in my understanding and in the way I understand this assignment, I mean, this should be able to be done in 2 hours. It's not, the paper itself is only 500 to 800 words, and I want you to keep that. I don't want it to be 10 pages, and it can be just totally simple. And the thing here, let me say it like this, the thing that I'm not going to say is that, this is not a good innovation. I mean, your innovations or whatever you want to suggest. What I'm looking for is the form. That you state the innovation, that you give the 3 primary aspects of it and show how it's going to affect the job itself. And as I'm saying, you need to give concrete examples throughout. You need to give concrete examples of what the innovation is, and you need to give very specific. You need to make very specific points about how the innovation will improve work. And when I say specific, what I mean is referring to a place and referring to time. Look at the models that I gave you, and you can see that that's exactly what they do. Okay, I hope this helps. I meant this to be a little bit shorter, but it's still only 8 minutes. I always have to bend down to see the time flow. If you have any questions about this, just text them to me. I'm home. Tonight is Monday. I'm home all evening Monday, all evening Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and the whole day Thursday and Friday. The only time this week that I'm gone is on Wednesday evening when I have to teach a class in Washington. Okay, so thanks very much. Contact me as needed. I'm happy to help you. Don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Thanks, everyone.